So number one, and this is not for everybody, but for you, care a lot less about awkwardness than you do. Okay? There is a very real, you're mentioning a very real thing. The idea that doing approach to the gym could be awkward is a very real thing. However, how actually awkward it is here, and how awkward you personally think it is, knowing you, is like here. Okay? So what you're talking about is a real thing and it's a real factor, but you are in your head blowing it out of proportion about 10x. I can already tell you that. Okay? But how you do approaches in the gym, with that aside, is that you want to be social first, sexual later, because you don't want to build a bad reputation. You also should be social with everyone. You should basically treat it like a social circle. So talk to the girl on the way in, or the guy at the counter on the way in, right? Be social. Don't hit on them. Don't try and make a date with them. Just be social with them, talk with them, be chatty with them. If there are people you see as regulars, just say hi to them or whatever. Or there may be guys you're like, hey man, good to see you. You fist bump them and then you go about your workout, right? That's going to do a few things for you. Number one, it's going to put you in a social mood. It's going to make you feel like you belong there, make you feel comfortable there, etc. Right? It's going to mean that any girls that see you at the gym see you interacting with other people. So if and when you talk to them, it doesn't feel weird. And it doesn't feel like, oh, this put-on guy's doing a cold approach on me. It feels like here's a social guy who's friends with everyone at the gym, which also social proofs you, makes you look good, right? And then when you actually do approach them, I wouldn't approach them, hey, you look really hot in the spandex shorts. And no, I wouldn't do that, right? I would just, approach with something casual. And if you've been talking to people at the gym, you'll know what gym topics are because you're already talking to people. You talk to her the same way you would someone else at the gym, like you're trying to make friends. Then within the interaction, you can tease a little bit. And I say tease, not flirt, right? So a tease is when you're making fun of her. A flirt is when you're making fun of her and it's man to woman. Start with teasing. If she's receptive to the teasing, then you can flirt, right? But it's safer, right?
Can you give examples of that?
You'd be like, wow, I thought the way you're going there, I thought you were going to destroy that machine, right? That's a tease, right? The way you're looking there, I thought you were going to destroy the machine. This is why we're not going to get along, is a flirt, okay? Start with the tease. If she's receptive to the tease, you can go ahead and flirt. And the thing with if you're going to see someone over and over again, there's this beautiful thing that's called the mirror exposure effect. The mirror exposure effect means every single time you see someone, you get more and more familiar and things get easier and easier. So if the first time you see someone, you're like, hey, how you doing today? And she goes, hi, right? Fine, who cares? The next time you go, hey, good morning. She goes, good morning, right? And the next time you go, hi, she goes, oh, hi. And the next time you walk in, she goes, oh, hi, how's your day? And she opens you first, right? And what happens? Mirror exposure effect. Just by saying hi over and over again, you became a familiar face. You became a friend just by saying hi. So if you, in normal cold approach, you see a girl in the park, you're never going to see her again. If you don't achieve something, you're done. If you don't get a phone number or better, that interaction, you're done. In the gym, you say hi, she says hi back, it ends there. You've actually made progress. The next interaction is going to be better and easier. And so you don't have to do weird, awkward things. You don't have to try for things. You can rely on more of a time-based approach and the mirror exposure effect, right? So I would say just be social, start conversations with girls, and then tease, right? Not flirt, tease. And then when that is going well and is going friendly, then you start throwing the flirts in. And the long-term goal is just to end up in an environment outside the gym where you're talking with them one-on-one. Whether that's because you share a hobby or you say, oh, let's. I always get drinks at the smoothie shop afterwards next door. Let's just go grab a smoothie together, just as friends. You don't say just as friends, but you get what I'm saying, right? So that's the progression. But you can be slow with it. You don't have to do it all at once. Right? The other thing with building a reputation, being friendly with everyone, is if for whatever reason one girl did think you were weird, everybody else has had positive associations with you, and they're like, oh, shut the fuck up. He's just a social guy. Right? You don't know what you're talking about. Right? So that's also in your favor. If you lived in the same city and you had girls who were legitimately your non-sexual friends who wanted to bring out, that's a very good idea. Do I bother with that? Usually not. It could. Again, if I was in a city where I had the time and inclination to build that up. But typically I don't have a value problem. So a lot of these ideas of merging sets or talking to a group of people and then merging into the girl and that kind of stuff, that's all great in theory. But there are practical problems with it. And there's also who needs it problems with it, right? So at an advanced level, how often am I going to lose the set because I don't have value? Not very often. How often am I going to lose the set because her logistics just suck? Or the friends are not on board with me or this or that or the other? That's the main thing I'm going to lose. So if I do all this extra work to give myself a little value bump, I still haven't corrected the 10 bigger issues. And so was it really worth it? right? That's one issue. The other issue is a logistical, practical issue, which is I see a hot girl, I have a good game, I'm just going to walk over and talk to her in her group and develop my value right then and there. And I can guarantee when I see a hot girl in a good situation, I can approach her right then and there. On the other hand, let's say I see a hot girl and I have to gather around, get everybody over here. Let's go over, right? Oh, fuck, she went to the bathroom. Oh, shit, she left the club. Oh, now she's talking to some other guy, right? And so there is just a practical, logistical issue to trying to have a setup to approach. So all that stuff is generally good. And having girls around you in the club is not going to hurt you. And you probably, in a perfect world, you probably should do that, right? If you live in the same city and can go out, going out with some female friends is just a good thing because it either will help you or non-hurt you, right? It's never going to hurt you. And there's situations where it will help you. So should you do it? By all means, do it. Is it going to make all the difference in the world? No. It makes some difference. And it's a good thing to do. But it's not like the Holy Grail.